Let's quickly look at the Strait of Hormuz and take this conversation forward. I'm just calling this up. Tom, you can sit where you are. It's just that this entire strait is not seeing any traffic right now. Ships are on both sides. Nobody is willing to take the guarantee. Nobody is willing to insure them. Bharat wants to send its own ships so that we get LPG. Because we don't have LPG, we have a huge problem. Ambassador Rajiv Dogra. But if our warships wade into this conflict zone, whether or not we get assurances from the US and Iran, what does that imply then?
Well, firstly, a comment on the previous conversation.
Yes.
General Pandey often disagrees with the previous speaker. And now we have a situation where everyone disagrees with everyone else.
Yeah.
So thank God I was out of it. Now let me come to the Strait of Hormuz. The fact is that we are passing through a very, very tough time where the unknowns are more than knowns.
Yes.
To repeat a famous quote, partly because of the American greed. America wanted control over Iranian energy resources. Israel's case was different. It was not the Israeli people, I must say, but Netanyahu who wanted to attack Iran. And as I said right in the beginning of the war, Iran has given Israel a bloody nose and keeps on hitting back. Otherwise, this country would not have lasted the way it has lasted. On the issue of energy, it is not just Strait of Hormuz, but also again the attack by Israel, despite Washington warning Israel that don't please attack the oil depots close to Tehran. So as a result, now Tehran has started retaliating, not just to Israel's attack, but also to American attack on an island owned by Israel, which is also its largest export point for oil. So, Strait of Hormuz is one thing. The other thing is the war has not now extended to oil from all sides, Israel, America, and Iran.
No.
And that makes the situation very dangerous. But
Sir, it's not just oil.
I must also add one more thing. The Gulf states are very worried by this development, and they are more inclined to take on Iran's side in this issue rather than America or Israel's side. Secondly, Iran is not isolated. Iran has solid Russian and Chinese support today. So if anyone is isolated, it is Mr. Trump and Mr. Netanyahu.
No, sir, it's very easy to say that, but the point is that Iran has not made any friends in the Gulf by attacking all these countries. Qatar has had to shut down its entire LPG, LNG production. Yes, Tom Cooper. Now,
there is a difference when you say it has made no friends with anybody in the Gulf. There is a difference between the regimes who can't care less about what their subjects are thinking and these subjects. Because from what I can see in the Arab social media in particular, what I get to hear from friends in Bahrain, in Kuwait, in United Arab Emirates, some of them are delighted with what is Iran doing. So this is, again, there are always two sides to everything that happens.
Correct.
You can't say this is this way or that way. Of course, the governments are those that matter. They have the final say, especially in such dictatorships like the entire Arab side and, of course, Iran as well.
Correct.
But, one has to treat this with caution. That's all.
No, I understand. But how do you resolve this? Is there a resolution to this? Because this is going to lead to a huge energy crisis. And it's going to,
theoretically,
it is also going to spill over into political hardship and also economic hardship for the people.
There is a necessity for countries which are impacted the most to bunch together and say, okay, enough of this nonsense. Stop shooting, otherwise we are without electricity and without liquid water. So, therefore, stop up there, you stop, the Israelis must stop, the Americans must stop, Iranians must stop, and so on and so on.
Right.
There is no other solution, actually.
Right. But when Trump says, General Pandey, when Trump says this is short-term pain for a long-term gain and the world should endure it, is there any merit? Because most people are saying, where is the proof for this? How are you saying what you're doing is preemptive?
So, you're asking me from a neutral standpoint, then the views are different. But when you're looking from the Trump standpoint, after all, when he's got into this war, and I've been time and again saying that this war is not about Iran from Trump. It is for Israel, it is Trump, Iran. But for Trump and for America, MAGA campaign, it is all about China and taking the resource control back into either deny it. If I can't get it, let me deny it.
Right.
And that's the aim with which they are working. So public posturing, making statements in the public are totally different. And actually what they want to achieve as strategic goals and mission is totally different. So
Right.
that is one thing which you have to take very, very carefully. Otherwise, we may go wrong. The second, I think what Tom Cooper has said is absolutely right. The moment there's a public joining hands, and he's absolutely right. Please understand, even in our country and in other parts of the world, anybody, he may be Shia or Sunni, is pretty happy if Iran is able to give a bloody nose to Israel, right?
Yeah.
Monarchs, autocrats, and dictatorship may have a different view because they need to run a country. But
Correct.
when a religious ideology comes into play, the opinion gets divided. Eventually, they'll be able to manage what is being said in their respective regimes and control. But the fact is, there is a division in voices which will happen. And obviously, the reason we understand is
Right,
about
but-
religion and it's about
Right, but from the Israeli point of view, one has to admit that we may what they may be doing is unpopular. But if there is a huge grouping of people who want them wiped out of the face of this earth, then they have to be how they are. They have to be brutal at some places. They have to pay the cost of it at other places, and at sometimes they have to go ahead and do the hard things, put in the hard work or the hard yards, and get blamed by everybody all around for being the attack dogs of the West. That's how it is. But the fact is that they never went out to say that we want to wipe out all Muslims from the face of this earth. It is the Iranian regime. It is those who are, there are others who just go out on the street and say, chant death to Jews, death to Israel. Now, there's a difference there. One has to understand
There
that.
is also a difference between deeds and political cries or whatever we want to call them. For 110 years, the West is ruling the Middle East as it likes. No political system is okay. Democracies are toppled. Dictators are not okay. Nationalists are not okay. Extremists are not okay. Friendly people are not okay. I mean, who is then okay for the West and for Israel?
Yeah.
In 1956, they were
Oil is okay. No.
In 1956, they were crying that Nasser is Hitler. In 1967, Nasser was still Hitler, and Syrians were crazy. In 1973, they want to destroy Israel, although actually they just wanted their territory, which they've lost in 1967 back. In 1982, it's Hezbollah or PLO or whatever, who was not good. So every time there is a promise, just this war, and then there's going to be peace.
Right.
And every time there is a new enemy emerging for Israel.
Right.